Hey, Riley, it's great to be with you today. Hope you're well.
Absolutely. The same to you, sir. I want to start with the confirmation of Dr. Marty Makary and Dr. Jay Bhattacharya. What do you make of that, sir?
Well, I think both of those were incredible decisions made by the president to put them in this position. With Dr. Bhattacharya, you have somebody that obviously became world-renowned during the COVID lockdowns and the things that were going on. And if you recall, he actually said that this was probably going to be the worst mistake or the biggest public health mistake we've ever made. And I think he has been proven correct over and over again. I think he's pledged to cut funds to colleges that are not supporting academic freedom. And I just think he's going to be a very strong choice there. And of course, with Dr. Makary, we recognize that this great doctor stood against the vaccine mandates and was also anti-lockdown. So you're having people that have not been a part of the quote unquote establishment, if you will, in public health. But really, they are people that I think are going to bring a lot of wisdom and a lot of discernment to the roles they're going to be leading.
Absolutely. And I think really for the American people, the most important thing here is rebuilding public trust in these institutions. Yes. And that starts by restoring their integrity. And I really, really hope and I have faith that both of these doctors will be able to do that. It's a big undertaking, but we have to be able to trust our public health institutions. And they need to be working more for the American people, not for donors, not for big pharma, not for anybody else. Now, I do want to
100%.
Yeah, yes, Congressman, absolutely. I do want to get your thoughts as well on Trump's head of the U.S. Navy now being confirmed as well. This is a big pick, and I really like his pick for it. So I wanted to see if you have thoughts about that.
Yeah, I think the decision that the president has made here, as well as each of these cabinet members and individuals that we're seeing, all are demonstrating just a tremendous amount of thought that has gone into these individuals. They're people that bring with them really leadership and notoriety in their field. They're people that have been recognized for really just what they're going to bring. I think we saw that when Pete Hegseth went in as head of the Defense Department. I think that you saw a pick that he was going to be a soldier, an everyman soldier, if you will, that was going to be respected as a leader. And it kind of goes back to what we touched on earlier, even with the appointments on the health area. It's all about restoring confidence. It's about the American people looking and saying that these are going to be leaders that we can depend on, leaders that have the best interest of American defense at heart. And I think that that's exactly what President Trump's been looking for.
Absolutely. And that's what the American people really deserve, is people who are America first unequivocally and unapologetically. Yes. It's long overdue. Now, I do want to ask you, though, as well, Congressman, because you were just in the Oval Office meeting with President Trump as well. I saw the pictures online. It looked like a great visit. I wanted to ask you, how was that?
Oh, that was an incredible experience. We had the opportunity yesterday. President Trump graciously invited the freshmen and their spouses to come over to the White House. And it was a great opportunity just to be with the president, to greet him. We actually took a tour of the White House that really, my wife, in fact, is able to lead some of our constituents already through a White House tour. And so that was an exciting time to be there. Just a lot of enthusiasm with the president. He wants to get this one big, beautiful bill done. We talked about that for just a few moments while we were there for that photograph yesterday. So he is zero focused on his America First agenda. He's zero focused on getting these things through Congress. He's still signing executive orders, which I think are important. And we as Congress have got to continue to step up the pace in getting these codified into law. And we're moving at a really, I would like to say a fast pace, a good pace, but sometimes I do feel like the wheels over here tend to move a little slower. But I think that's probably the reason our founders wrote it the way they did.
I think you're right about that, Congressman. But since you bring up this bill, House Republicans are trying to get this big, glorious bill passed that includes a lot of really important agenda items for this administration, including stuff about border security and stopping mass illegal immigration. But Senate Democrats, they seem to be putting up a big fight right now. I'm not sure how it's going to work out, but could you maybe speak to that for us?
Yeah, I think that really we're waiting on the Senate's response to what we have done with that one big, beautiful bill. And it did include, as you point out, money for not only our military, but for the border security, to give Tom Homan the tools that he needed. And listen, nobody can argue with the results that Tom Homan has already started racking up. I mean, when you look at where the numbers were and where the numbers are today, and people that we're encountering trying to come over the border illegally, it is astounding that the president has been able to make that so clear. And we can make that clear distinction. So I think that we're going to continue to push. I believe we're going to get this one big, beautiful bill through. I believe the Senate, just as they did with the CR that we came with from the House just last week, I do think that kind of put them in a position of realizing this president's agenda is what the American people are looking for. And I think that we're going to stand together, and I think we're going to see this thing move yet again.
Okay. I'm very happy to hear that as well. I do want to pivot, though, as well with you, since I have you here, Congressman, to your home state, North Carolina, just being racked by fires right now. It's just one natural disaster after another, and it's tragic. And I've been thinking and praying for the people in North Carolina. I want to get your thoughts on the situation and see what you make of it.
Yeah, well, so far in March, there have already been at least 112 active wildfires in North Carolina, mostly of them affecting areas in western North Carolina that really was so ravaged by Hurricane Helene. But these are especially vulnerable, as you can imagine, because FEMA really kind of failed in their immediate recovery area coming out of Hurricane Helene. So we've got some things that we've got to continue to work on. I do know the first responders and the firefighters are working overtime to do what they need to do. In fact, I think that's the reason that the agenda under President Trump has moved to where it needs to be, and that is that the states kind of organize and run their own recovery, and the federal government gets them the support that they need financially to be able to do that. But I am proud of the firefighters. We do have some that have been in my district because I have part of the Uwharrie National Forest there in Montgomery County in my 8th Congressional District, but they are being managed and are being under control. And at this particular time, no homes, as I understand it, are being threatened currently, but that's because of the work of these local firefighters that are standing strong. And again, as we saw out in California, whenever you have a storm like we had with Hurricane Helene, and if you allow the underbrush down there to not be cleaned up and not taken care of, you get what you got out in California.
Yes.
We're wanting to avoid that in North Carolina, and we'll be making moves to make sure that that doesn't occur.
Absolutely. Please learn from the mistakes made here in California by Governor Gavin Newsom, because nobody, as far as local resources, we didn't have many ready to go. I mean, you look at the fire hydrants in LA, all of them without water whatsoever. There's just no excuse for that. And Californians paid the price for that. Unfortunately, it's just heartbreaking to see that. So I'm glad that other states can learn from that, do better, and serve their own people in a much better capacity, sir. That's very good. Now, I do want to pivot as well, coming back to Congress, because speaking of congressional Democrats and they're fighting and they're moaning about what's going on with this administration, there's one that stands out among them, Jasmine Crockett from Texas, who's getting nastier and nastier by the day. I actually want to show this clip of her speaking in LA pretty recently about Texas Governor Greg Abbott, and then get your thoughts, sir.
Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot ass mess, honey.
Congressman, what do you think about that?
I think what a disgrace. What a disgrace for a person who is a member of Congress to actually take to the platform and to make such just insensitive comments and just crazy jokes and things at the expense of the incredible governor of Texas. And to do what she did is just reprehensible. And I hope and pray that the people of Texas are taking note. They certainly can't be proud of that, that she goes out to L.A., gets on a platform, and chooses to put on this kind of act and demonstration is very discouraging.
Yes.
And it's beneath, I think, of a member of Congress, and very disappointing. I've heard some talk around here of some members in Texas, from Texas, that have even talked about a censure for that. I don't know if that's going to get legs and where that's going to go, but I do think it is, again, just the height of insensitivity and crudeness to speak of the good governor of Texas in this way.
Yes, I mean, setting our differences aside, that's just unacceptable. I mean, what a horrible example to set for the American people and the whole world, quite frankly. And just on top of it all, like you said, Congressman, we can be better. We're better than that, really. I mean, it's just the lowest of the low, truly. So just very heartbreaking, very sad. I know that she tried to defend it later, and Governor Abbott actually fired back. I'm happy he's defending himself, but really just way, way out of line, even for someone as notorious as Jasmine Crockett. So thank you very much for speaking on that issue, and thank you for your time today, sir.
Listen, it's always a pleasure to be with you, Riley. Anytime.